Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Rewind and Replay. I'm Matan.
I'm Adriana.
And I'm Caitlin. Today, we are going to be talking about mobile games. Specifically, we want to talk about the accessibility and education that comes from mobile games. So, I was reading this article recently about how mobile games have been helping social work students and creating more accessibility to their education. And I also started doing more research about how they create more accessibility to like children and even people as they're aging to keep their cognitive function more intact. And I thought this was super interesting. So as we go through our games today, I think it'd be cool to just kind of look into how each game has kind of helped do this. And even if they just seem like they're for fun, which like most totally are, I think it's great that they can totally help keep people's cognitive function or even just help like children or social work students or people who may not have access as everyone else does, because in today's day and age, most people have access to a smartphone
Absolutely.
or, iPad, anything like that, where they have access to these games. And most games are like set up to be free for the most part. Like you can pay to do more. But I think that's really important that they are set up to be free and have a free to play mode.
Absolutely. I think it's really important. An important point to note is that like phones and iPads and tablets and what have you are not gaming machines. And
Mm-hmm.
so what's great about that is often they are used for another purpose, but having games on those means that games can be much more widely accessible.
Yeah, and like I've seen a ton of parents have like iPads that they let their
Hmm.
kids take and just like watch stuff and like play apps on. Like I was babysitting for this one mom, or well, I was babysitting for her kids, not the mom.
You're babysitting the mom, right?
Yes, I was babysitting the mom. And she had like her iPad, and then she had like a kid safe mode that like let the kids just go and play like games and do all this different stuff on it. And I
I
thought that was
don't
really
I
cool.
don't know if you guys remember, but did anyone else have like a leapfrog or whatever that kind of
Yeah,
stuff was?
dude.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so it's I mean, I think it's something that's been around for a really long time. And we're
Mhm.
just seeing it come about more popularly in the mainstream and being advanced with tech.
An OG,
Um,
wow, Leapfrogs were the OG tablets. I haven't
Leapfrog
thought
was
about
Yeah,
great.
those.
they
I haven't thought about those in a
were.
I
while.
think about them all the time. Before we keep talking about games, though, Caitlin, did you want to shout out like the article you read, the authors, or like the
Yeah.
titles, so other people can look it up and
Yeah.
see if they're interested in reading?
So the article is, I did not have this ready. I have the link. We will definitely link it below too.
Link in the description,
Ah,
yeah.
Yes. Okay.
awesome.
So it is game-based learning through mobile phone apps effectively enhancing learning for social work students by Mohammed K. Al-Sherbini. I'm sorry if I said that wrong.
That's okay. You did your best. We did not prepare this content, as we almost never do.
Great.
Yeah, we'll link it. As research goes, it's probably super niche, maybe a small sample size. I have no idea. These are really cool ideas that it's important for everyone to talk about.
Yeah, I
Absolutely.
honestly had no idea what I wanted to talk about when we just said mobile apps or mobile games. And I just started doing some research and I found this article and I was like, that's so cool. I never thought about like how much accessibility that brings to everyone and it like gives people a chance that they may not have had in the past. And I was like, I love that.
Yeah, I also need to insert a little disclaimer. It is great that they're free. That's awesome. However, God, capitalism sucks.
Yes.
Um, and a lot of the time, game more
I'm sorry.
increase the need is to actually spend money on the game.
Right.
So it's a complicated subject, and doesn't necessarily mean perfect, but it does help a lot of low-income families or students or just people that want to have a good time, maybe pick up a new skill and just chill.
Yeah, and again,
Also,
it
fuck
does,
capitalism.
yes, fuck capitalism. It also
For
doesn't,
sorry,
oh,
go ahead, Caitlin.
it doesn't bring accessibility to everyone. Still, I want to point out some people still don't have access to smartphones or like tablets and stuff. So there's still that issue out there. But it does bring a lot more accessibility than having to buy like a gaming system to be
Right.
able to have like games like this.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But speaking of mobile games versus consoles, we've got one that kind of spans both. First up, we're talking about Animal Crossing Pocket Camp.
Yes.
I
So
had
I was really excited for Pocket Camp when it came out.
I had a little bit of exposure to Pocket Camp. I played it when it released, and I played a little bit, and I got kind of bogged down by microtransactions and didn't get super far. But I played a little bit. Well, how far did you guys get?
Not very.
Pretty far. I was playing for so like mobile. I play a lot of mobile games, so I'm very much used to microtransactions. Watching that, it's getting like pay like $5 to get rid of whatever. Which I didn't do any of them. I like to cheat the system. But I played maybe for like 6 months.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I mean, I had friends who were playing it, family members, so it was really engaging in that way, and it felt like a really good lead up, kind of like a good prep game for New Horizons, because New Horizons is also very much into the multiplayer aspect like that.
Yeah, I know there's a little bit of integration. I think you can get some items from Pocket Camp. You can push them over to your New Horizons save.
Yeah,
I haven't touched the game in a while.
Yeah, I played this for a bit when it first came out, maybe like a few months. Then I deleted it. And I swear I linked it to like my Nintendo account, but I recently re-downloaded it. And like I can't find my old like progress. So I had to restart.
Oh,
sometimes they don't want you to. So
yeah. So I'm sad too. Yep. But you know, I started just playing it like maybe like a week and a half ago. And I built a few things. I have like a bench and a swing. It's cool.
Solid.
So was that the first appearance of crafting in Animal Crossing?
I think so. I'm not 100% sure, but that's it, right, which is what I'm saying with like this really good prep. You know what? No, it wasn't the first appearance. Was it? Was Pocket Camp the one with like the 2 llamas that were like
the 2 llamas two llamas are in other games though.
Okay, then maybe in those other games I don't.
I played New Leaf. That was my first Animal Crossing. I was late to the game. And I do not believe that there was any sort of crafting.
There hasn't been in, I think, most, if not all, Animal Crossing games. I just couldn't, like, this game came out in 2017. Okay, my memory, like, that's when I started college, y'all, okay?
Right.
So, like, were those llamas from that game? I don't know. Alpacas? I don't even know anymore what they are. But yeah, I think it was a good like branch to showing us what the Animal Crossing series can be like.
It is, as I like the lead in, and I think I think it did a good job of making the Animal Crossing formula, adapting it to mobile, making it like streamlining it, trimming the fat, making it easy to play and understand. That being said, I'm taking a look at your notes here, and I see the sentence, new villagers locked behind maps requiring rare items to roll a dice.
Yeah, so I haven't re-downloaded the game. The last time I played this was like 2018. So I asked the good old internet, like, hey, what's up? Because I can't even imagine that this game is still like a thing, especially after New Horizons. Yeah. I mean, and like it's free to play. There's people who don't have a Switch. Like there's a lot of these intersecting issues. But I have heard that indeed the game does get worse. It just got worse since 2017. It just and so I guess, I mean, this is the thing with microtransactions, right? So they added like leaf tickets. I don't even remember if that was the thing. It probably was.
Yeah.
But there are like these fortune cookies that you can buy with leaf tickets, and then you need to like use these cookies to do certain things. And there are now items that like originally when you started playing the game, you have to buy them with leaf tickets instead of bells. And it's a little bit like the Nook Miles thing, except you don't actually have to buy Nook Miles with like real person money.
Here's what I'll say. Any game, this is real for any game, developers take notes. No more than 2 currencies. No more than 2. You can have 2 and no more.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
In some games like Injustice 2 has like 5. And like Apex Legends has 4.
No.
And I'm like, you guys, you don't need that. You really don't need it.
It's 2 though. Like in every, I guess, good game that I've played, There's 2.
Yeah,
There's 2.
It's 2.
That's it. That's all you need.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And it sounds like these fortune cookies may not literally be a currency, but it seems like they are effectively.
Yeah, I was confused because when I was playing earlier this week, I tried to get a fortune cookie and I bought one, and then I didn't get what it did. I opened it and it gave me a fortune. It said I was going to play karaoke soon. That's cute. But then it did nothing, and I was like, what?
Oh.
So I don't know if it
Yikes.
like saved it and I'm supposed to use it later, but my character ate it, so I don't know.
I have no idea.
If someone understands that, let us know.
Drop it in the comments.
Yeah.
Explain
Yeah,
the
but it just
karaoke bit.
sounds too complicated. Like, this game
Right.
was good when I was playing it for like 6 months, and then
Yeah.
Yeah. It
I do think there's a great thing to say about like the accessibility, like we've been saying. If you don't
Right.
have a Switch and you don't have game consoles, again going back to our main point, like accessibility, it lets you play it when you don't have this stuff.
Right. It lets you know what you're talking. It lets you enter an Animal Crossing conversation, and
Yeah.
that's kind of significant. I did want to mention though, before we move on from this game, every Animal Crossing game, just about, has kind of a unique aesthetic. Part of that is that it comes out on different hardware and different eras of gaming, but another part is just the style. You know, City Folk has a very different look than New Leaf, which has a very different look than New Horizons. And I think that Animal Crossing Pocket Camp, going for that camping vibe, I think was a very smart move, because it clearly, you know, differentiates itself from the others.
I totally agree.
I mean, even on the phone, it still really managed to feel like a full-on Animal Crossing game.
For sure.
Which is really hard to do. It's very impressive. I mean, obviously, I don't think it has the longevity of something on the console.
Right.
But it's a really good, I think, like, gateway drug if we're talking about things like that. And again, capitalism sucks. I hope you didn't get scammed into buying more Animal Crossing games.
We should do, I'm saying this on air so that we are held to it. We should do an episode on loot boxes and microtransactions. I think that would be interesting.
That would be really cool.
Yeah, I have thoughts. We all have thoughts. It's fine.
I mean, why else make a podcast, right?
Yeah.
All right. So next up, we have, I have a really hard time judging how successful this game is. It's Fallout Shelter.
Yeah, I have no idea, but I'm not gonna lie, and this is such like a faux pas, but like, you guys, this is the only Fallout game I've played.
Ooh.
Don't worry.
I am not I also want to say I have not deep dived into any Fallouts. I played a little bit of 3, I played a little bit of 4. I have dodged around New Vegas.
Yeah.
But I'm sorry. What do you guys think of this game?
My giraffe is crooked back here. Sorry, that was.
Caitlin got distracted.
I saw it in my camera, and I was like, "It's crooked," and I had to fix it. Sorry. Okay, we're back.
Guys.
I was watching. I forget. It might have been E3 2016. Maybe it was 2015. I was watching the E3 when this game dropped. It was a Shadow.
This game is way older than that.
2015. It's older than 2015.
I think so. Yeah, I can look it up, but it's
Regardless, I was watching live when they announced it and dropped it in the same day.
In 2015.
2015. Sorry, listeners, I just dabbed on Adriana. So
you started with 2016, and I was like, no way.
Fine. So I got it immediately, and it actually was like it's a solid management game.
Oh yeah.
And I have, like you did, taken a look on the internet and seen how it's grown. It seems to have done fine, right?
Yeah. I mean, I think so. I mean, I have no idea what like their actual revenue from the game is. And I couldn't really judge its current popularity, but like, I've played this shit on and off for years. I mean, like, I'll have like a bout where I'm like, oh, I want to re-download, restart, have fun again. I don't spend money on this game at all, 0%. I will let the treks into the wilderness take 32 hours to come back. That's fine. That's fine with me. And I think that's a really strong point of any mobile game, is like really allowing you to just be okay with like the time.
Caitlin, what do you think about this game?
I haven't played it a ton, but I think it was fun. I mean, I agree. I didn't mind waiting for them to come back. I liked just expanding my little area, and it was cool. I liked when you place like a dorm room or whatever for like people to live. It was like, if you have 2 people of opposite sex, then you might have babies start to appear.
Yeah. They might woohoo. That's what it's called in The Sims, right?
Yeah, that is what it's called in The Sims.
Um,
And it's actually really fun to like go in and watch them and like all the different, not just
Sorry?
the bedroom. No,
Okay.
in all the different rooms. You know, because I don't know if you guys know this, but they'll like have like dialogue thingies.
Yeah.
Peek in on, in all the different rooms.
Mhm.
So it's kind of just fun to.
Fun. Yeah,
I really-
I did not get very far in this game, obviously, but it's
Yeah.
fun. And again, I think it's great like way of management and like time management and just managing the different people in there and like learning how to do that. I think is really beneficial.
Yeah. I
mean,
think it was. Go for it.
It's the kind of game where you can play it for 10 minutes when you need a break and then just go back, which also gives you like really great skills in multitasking. Like if you're playing or homework and they're like, hey, I need a break. I'm going to go to my other thing that I completely, I have organized in my mind palace. I know this level and this level, and I have that person out doing things. So it's kind of really great like that.
Yeah.
What I think a strength, one way in which this game succeeds that I think is an important factor for a successful mobile game is, like you said, occasional check-ins is not large time investment in a moment, right? Every play session is short.
Mm-hmm.
And so I like that. I liked, managing my resources and my characters and waiting for my guys to come back from their, trek journey, whatever. Like I liked that this game didn't demand a lot from me in a session.
Yeah.
I agree.
And I also liked managing I think the aesthetic is very nice. It's kind of like the built-in Fallout aesthetic, not of the game, but kind of the aesthetic that exists in the world of the game. The little Pip-Boy guys. I think it was a great move. I think it was like honestly a really good way to build hype for Fallout 4. Like, yeah, Fallout 4 is coming out in 6 months, but here's a game you can play on your phone right now for free. For forever. And it seems like they've supported it pretty well. One issue. There is no incest blocker. So if you put someone in a room with their family, they'll bone and make a baby. And I did not do it on purpose. I think they went into the room and I zoomed in. I was like, oh, it looks like they're banging. And they came out and I was like, wait, wasn't that his mom?
Oh my God.
Matana, I actually don't think that's true.
I am 99% sure that it's true.
Okay, but I'm also 99% sure I've put two people in the room and been really confused, like, hey, it's been like a couple hours, why aren't you banging?
Some people may not bone. Some people may not bang.
But then I like trace it and I'm like, oh, they're like related.
Okay, maybe I played it before you. Maybe I played it before they updated and added an incest blocker.
Maybe.
Because
I don't know.
I am all but, I mean, the reason I am not 100% sure is because it has been a couple years. But I have a distinct memory of people banging who were related, and I was like, this is not right.
Okay, I mean, again, I played it on and off, right, like since release to like now. So I honestly like don't even know like what updates, what patches I've experienced.
Okay, all right. Next up, Love Island. Have any before we talk about the game, have either of you watched Love Island?
I actually haven't, even though recently with all those types of shows coming out on Netflix, I have been really into the genre.
Yes.
So like Love is Blind, that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I've been wanting to watch it. I just haven't had the chance.
10 out of 10. Honestly, the first season on Hulu, it is like they are the trashiest, most sex-addicted people in all of Great Britain. And it is incredible.
Sounds like too hot to handle. I love it.
Yes, similar. It is similar, but it's so bad. It's so bad. It's so good. Tell me about the game.
The game is actually like pretty solid though. So I feel it takes more of like the Bachelor vibe instead of Too Hot to Handle vibe, which is very different. Anything in part, right? Like this is a free to play game on an app store with children. So they're not like all thirsty hoes, although they are across the board exceptionally attractive.
Right.
This is just a fantastic game.
So you make a character.
Yeah.
And then you date the people at the villa. Is that right?
Yeah, you just grift.
But you can't get very far without paying, right?
Well, yeah, you can. Yeah.
How? Because I tried. I did try. I
What do you
got like
mean?
I played one episode and it was like pay to play more.
Really?
Yeah. You needed like those tickets and you had to buy those tickets with real monies.
No, they refresh. You just have to wait for them to.
Oh, do they? Oh,
Yeah,
maybe
you just wait. It takes like
Oh.
2-3 hours
Oh,
for like
really?
the ticket to come back.
Oh,
Yeah.
I just
I
didn't know
mean,
that.
this
Yeah.
Wait, I'm checking
we've
the app right now. Let me see.
You just wait. They come back to
Oh, I
you. I
didn't
mean,
know that.
you can buy more, obviously, which is how they
right.
make their currency in
Yeah,
game.
I thought you
So
had to buy them. Oh man.
so there are like a lot of optional like scenes that you can have with the people that you're
Yeah.
romancing, which
Look at that.
cost
I
like
have two.
gems. Yeah.
When I played this game, I remember that certain responses were locked behind gems,
Yeah,
Yeah.
they are.
which is a shame.
It
And
is
they
a
like guilt
shame.
you. They were like, your character's like, really? Should I leave? But this could be the moment for us. This could really be the moment. Am I sure I want to leave? And then you just have to say no because you don't have
Yeah.
Right.
enough.
I mean, it's really good marketing, and this is like
Greedy.
it's really greedy, but this is the one time like I don't mind it, and I will admit
Right.
I have spent money on this game.
Wow. You know, hold on. At the end of this episode, this is why you got to keep listening. I want us all to approximate how much money we've spent on mobile games.
Okay.
Okay. But I've spent money on this game for some of the cutscenes.
Okay.
Shit's spicy, and like what I do like about it though is that so you can restart like the series. So they have like season 1, season 2, and then like different like special event like Christmas, whatever. And so you can play them again and you can romance different people. But so if you buy an option, you will have it forever, the whole time, even if like the person you're dating like changes. It's like scene dependent, not like person dependent. Like you can like I could definitely map out like the narrative structure and all the different things, but like it's still fun and like the characters have unique dialogue. Shit's good though.
If I remember correctly, there is no limitation on sexual orientation in this game.
Yeah, they actually, so I mean again what's great, right? Like people get booted off the island,
Right.
Depending like who you pick. Like people just have to leave, right? Because they don't have a buddy. But I'm in season 2, and this is the first time I remember this happening in the game. So correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure that, and I don't know if this is gonna happen anyways, but so I'm romancing a woman in the second season, and so 2 guys were left out, which has happened before, and they've partnered up and been like, hey bros, whatever,
Right.
in season 1, but in season 2 they're like, it was like romantic. It was
Really?
like, he's like, hey, like I know like this wasn't our first option and whatever, but like I'd love the chance to get to know you better.
Whoa.
And like yeah, like they
That's great. That's so fun.
I really appreciated that, and I think probably it's like mechanics wise, it's just the 2 people that are left over, gay, straight, whatever, like they are now a couple.
But they wrote in dialogue to sort of smooth that.
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah.
You know,
so I love that.
That reminds me of a story, and only loosely related. I believe it was on on The Bachelor. 2 of the women who were contestants to try to vie for his affections ended up getting married after the show.
I love that.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Yeah. Yeah, it's an interesting sort of intersection of like, how odd is it that it's a game based on a reality TV show, but the game is story based.
Yeah.
Very odd. It's cool.
I think economically, it's such a smart fucking move. Like
yeah,
every Bachelor, do it, but don't make it like don't do it bad. Okay,
do Bachelor
give me
in
the
Paradise.
gay shit. Give me the gay shit. Give me like, but let's not make this bad, guys.
Right. All right. Is there anything else you wanted to add on that, Caitlin?
I mean, I just think accessibility is great. Again, kind of what we talked about with the visual novel episode, being able to just put in like all these LGBTQ plus characters, I think is great, and we're starting to see it more, especially with the visual novel genre, and we're seeing that here with the apps too, and I think that's really awesome.
Wow, did
I
I
actually
put Caitlin on visual novels? Have I converted?
I don't know
convert
yet.
it.
Not
Oh,
quite, but I do.
But if you keep playing Love Island, that's a visual novel. You are well on your way.
I know.
wow. You've put some work in, Adriana.
Yeah.
I also wanted to add, I think it's a great, we talked about this a little bit in our Black Lives Matter episode. I think this is one of those, this method of inclusion is the one that is, like, subtle is not quite the right word, but like not a normal, it's like focusing on normalization, where it doesn't make, it's a one of two equally valid approaches, but it's the one that it is not focused on the sexual orientation. It's not making that the crux of it. It just is because people are that way, and it doesn't need to be the focus of the game.
Yeah, the absolute crux of this game is these are a bunch of thirsty hoes have fun, like romancing a person, but like everything else doesn't matter. They have, I think season 1 wasn't as balanced racially, but it got better.
Right.
They're doing their research, doing the work, they're improving.
Totally.
And I think one thing, I mean, I don't know if children are playing this game, but like if I was a thirsty boy in high school or a thirsty me in high school, I'd be on this shit. So
Right. I think it's a way of getting that into people's hands who like might not really be super aware regarding like modern sexual orientation and gender politics.
Yeah, I mean, I actually go ahead, Caitlin.
Oh, I was gonna say, when I think about the show, I mean, I've never seen it, but I didn't think of it being like super inclusive. I thought of it being very like heterosexual, stereotypical dating show. So if it is like that, I mean, at least getting people to play the app that are fans of the show can be a great way to expand into that.
Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like,
I think the show might be like that. I haven't watched, so I don't know.
Again, I haven't watched.
It's heteronormative. It's not.
Happens.
Right.
Yeah.
All right. Next up, Harry Potter Hogwarts Mystery. Adriana, this was your edition?
Yeah, this and Love Island were my editions. I know Caitlin has also played the Hogwarts game, and I'm obsessed. I will say, J.K. Rowling can go jump off a bridge. I'm gonna put that out there all the time.
I saw a tweet earlier today that was like J.K. Rowling had opposite character development. Like, yeah,
she certainly had some hot takes, some pretty garbage opinions.
Yeah, I saw a TikTok that was, like the trends going around where like a person's like, oh, these are the houses and like their outfits or like whatever.
Right.
And it was like J.K. Rowling walks in and the Hufflepuff is like, let's go. Right now, let's go, bro.
That's cute.
I was like, that's me. But if you just shove all that shit to the side, creator versus content, whatever. It's a great game. It's also like Love Island, it's cute because I just got to 4th year and I just got to ask someone out on a date because like you're 4th years now and like you're like 16 and so it's super fun and adorable. It's just a good time. It's just a really good time. You get to live your Hogwarts life.
It's so cute. I haven't played it in a hot minute. I think I was in 2nd year. But if I remember right, there's like a full story. Like you're going through and like
absolutely there is.
Oh no, there's a giant plot. I'm like, I mean, I'm 4th year, but like there's still so much happening. But again, one of the strengths of this being a mobile game is that the plot is there, but there are a bunch of different side quests. So like I'm on a Quidditch team. And like I'm helping Hagrid with like these illegal animals that he's keeping. Like there's a bunch of other things. One of my quests right now is to get to like level 10 friendship with Bill because he's like confused about like what he like his career advice. He needs to give him career advice. And like you can talk to Dobby at lunch in the Great Hall.
I've played a little bit of this game as well. I have a friend of mine and his girlfriend are both really into it. What is your experience with microtransactions in this game?
So I've also spent money on this game. But that's because I am a Hufflepuff. This is a thing I ride or die for this game. But with that said, I think it's absolutely playable without spending money on the game.
Yeah, I don't think I've spent any money on it.
They really encourage you to. So there are a lot of special events where you have to like pay gems to like get the benefits. So they really want you to. They really put it out there for you. But it's not like your energy refills and you can complete the goals without having to buy more.
I was gonna ask. So so the special events you can pay into. Are there like timers on things as well?
There are, but I mean, I've done the math, and like I've done my best to not spend money on like energy because I think that's an absolute waste.
Yeah.
And for the most part, I haven't. Like, sometimes I'll buy like a bundle, which gives you more energy, but I do it because like there's gems in there. Right. Yeah. And you can absolutely not need to buy for the timed energy events or anything like that.
From what I remember is like sometimes you had to watch it and be careful because something would like end at a certain time, so you had to make sure to come back a few times within like that time limit.
Okay.
So the usual time limits are going to be an hour or 3 hours. Sometimes there will be really special ones that are 8 hours. And so I think you start with 25 energy or something like that, Caitlin, if you remember.
Right.
Something, so
around there.
Once you like level up, you get like increased energy cap. So I think I have like 34 max energy right now, which obviously makes things easier. But it's kind of just a reward for playing the game. But you can finish a 1 hour event basically immediately. There are spots like in Hogwarts, in the castle and in the town where you can like click items and you get energy. Because like they'll respawn every couple hours and you just get free energy.
Gotcha.
So like as long as you check it as long as it takes for your energy bar to refill, so like every hour and a half, if you know you're in an event, like you start a 3 hour event, check it 2 hours later, you're fine, it's complete, you don't need to spend any money.
Gotcha. And I'm sorry, it's a prequel, is that correct?
Yes, it's set 4 years after Harry is born.
Interesting.
Yeah, so so this is why I was talking about Bill. So you get to, I think Bill is quite a few years older than you. I think I'm sorry, the same.
Bill is Ron's older brother?
Yeah, Bill Weasley.
Bill and Charlie are like your classmates. So is Tonks, which I love.
Yeah.
I remember Tonks.
And there's some really cool like new NPCs, obviously. But they're just really fun.
Cool.
That's cute.
Yeah, and I think to kind of circle back to like Caitlin's theme of the episode thing, and I think this game more so than some of the others we have on our list is very oriented towards children because obviously like when we were kids this was a big thing, and now we're adults, but for kids still now, Hogwarts is really important, and so I'm just gonna read out part of a quote from an article I really love. And it's from a Journal of Creativity and Mental Health, and we can link it later. But it's talking about how, and again, like Harry Potter, like with a lot of like TV shows and books, there's a lot of encoded messages that you get more as an adult and not so much as a child. And so the quote I'm just going to read: play, so playing a game, allows for the processing of complex and difficult subject matter in a way that makes sense to them, offering a creative outlet as well as a psychological distance from the issues at hand. In essence, play allows children to express in a safe manner things they may otherwise be unwilling or unable to aptly explore. So like in Hogwarts, say this was me when I was like 11, I have the opportunity to romance this beautiful girl. Which is like, I'm not gay. I'm not what? No. Yeah, I'm super gay, girl. I'm like super, super gay. So.
Right. Yeah. Interesting. Yeah. Interesting.
Or like even like issues with like the planet and like taking care of animals and like legal issues. There is an event where you can become an animagus. Like you have to register with the ministry because now you can shapeshift. And the character that teaches it to you, he's not registered because he's scared. And, if Death Eaters knew about that, if they could find out that information from the ministry, he'd be at risk. And so you as a player have a choice. Do you want to register or do you not?
Interesting. That's a pretty woke messaging there.
Yeah. And so there are a lot of little moments like that.
Interesting.
In the game. So I chose to not register with the ministry because I know, how many years later when Harry Potter's an adult, the Death Eaters are gonna start terrorizing people, and I don't want to be on that list.
Sure.
Um,
Wow. I think that quote you read is really very apt. That's a really
Yeah.
interesting application to this game.
Yeah.
Um, before we move on, Caitlin, what house are you?
I'm a Gryffindor.
Nice.
Makes sense. What house are you, Matan?
Gryffindor
Heck
is
yeah.
what the test. They say that, and sometimes I get Ravenclaw.
Surprisingly, so have you guys seen, it's been going around on TikTok, the test that like takes every Pottermore question and puts it all into one? So like, you know, when you take Pottermore, you get like a selection of like 5 questions.
Right.
It takes all of them and puts them together and lets you take it, and like it gives you what percent of each house you're in.
Bitch,
Right.
send me
I
that.
have taken that.
Okay,
Bitch, send me that.
Yes, I will send you that.
I'd like to say I think that technically the three of us fall under Gen Z, and I usually associate more with Gen Z. I have never felt more millennial than when I asked you what Harry Potter Hogwarts house you were.
Yeah, I tend to feel more millennial because of moments like that. When you think about music, and when you think about popular young adult media, it's gonna be the millennial shit.
Well, okay, going back to TikTok again. I saw a TikTok where so much TikTok today, which is again Gen Z.
You're right. I know.
Yeah, I saw a TikTok that was like, if you were born around like 98 to 2000, so right where we fall, the way you distinguish whether you're more of a millennial or more of a Gen Z is by your siblings. So if you have an older sibling, you're more likely to be more millennial. But if you have a younger sibling, you're more likely to be more Gen Z.
That's very interesting.
Siblings, like, because my sister's
I have older siblings too.
Yeah, and we all have older siblings, right?
Well, my family is very complicated.
You're fucking complicated.
So we can unpack that another time.
But yeah, because like my sister grew up more as a millennial. She's still like in between because she was 96. Had to think for a second there. Watch, I was wrong here. She'll blame me for that. But like that's closer to millennial than I am, so I get more of that. But I still
trickle down to you. Yeah.
Yeah.
The short of it is my brother, who I was raised with, my stepbrother, is 3 months older than me, so this doesn't really apply.
Yeah, it doesn't super apply to you.
Okay. Yeah. Next up, moving on from Harry Potter.
Never.
We have Mario Kart Tour.
Mario Kart.
I play this all the time.
Still.
I don't play this game, but that's more because I'm not the biggest Mario Kart fan. I love to play it with friends, but like on a phone, you play by yourself, and that's not like my jam.
Take it away, Caitlin.
Okay, so it is like full on maps, which I was not expecting when I got this game, because I feel like they've tried to do Mario Kart before, like versions of it, or like I've tried to do racing games before.
Mario Kart is extremely profitable. They have tried it in a lot of different ways.
Yeah, and like it's never been fun as an app. It's always been like too short, like the races don't really like, they're too short and like not fun, and like items don't work that well. But this, they got it down. Like instead of 3 laps, it is only 2 laps, but it's still significant enough that like your items make a difference. And like you get the full range of items. Some of them are, I don't think you get all of them, you get most of them, but some of them are a little changed. Like if you get like Bullet Bill, he'll take you to 5th place, and then as soon as you get to 5th place, he stops.
Interesting.
Yeah, which
I'm sorry. He's called
Bullet Bill?
Yeah, isn't that what he's called?
Yeah, absolutely, that's what he's called.
Whoa! I just learned something new today.
Wow.
You made me doubt myself. I was like, is he not called Bullet Bill?
No, I just didn't. I love him. I just didn't know that.
Great. But he can like take you to like 1st place in the real game. I mean,
yeah.
I feel like he can.
Yeah.
Bullet Bill has saved my ass from 13th or 12th or whatever. Like
Caitlin,
times.
how many players are in a race?
Oh, that's a good question.
Is it 8?
I think it's 8. Yeah.
Okay. So that's interesting. Taking you to 5th.
Oh, 5th isn't that far then.
It's not that far, but I guess that's the boost. You know, that's the boost you need. Here, another spiel. I'm sorry, I got a lot of tangents today. Our economy should work like Mario Kart, right? The further back you are, the better items you get.
Yes.
And it's nothing you get at the back is going to take you to 1st. Nothing, that's not a worry. That's not a real concern. But it's going to help you get closer to the pack and get further up. And then even if you pass someone,
those cells that take out those billionaires in the top of the pack.
Yo, Where's my blue shell? We need a blue shell right now.
need a blue shell
Elon
right
Musk,
now.
you're
Jeff
fucking dead.
Bezos.
But I'm sorry.
Did it.
You're so this game it's kind of on the rails. Is that right? You tilt your phone to steer?
I think you can do that now. I use my finger to steer.
That sounds easier.
Yes. It's weird. I remember we played Mario Kart together. This was a while ago before quarantine stuff. I think it was back in like January. We all played. No, it was February because I remember your boyfriend was there for Valentine's Day, Adriana.
That's right. That's right.
So it was right before quarantine. We all played Mario Kart together, and I had been playing this app, and then my steering was messed up because I was used to the steering.
You know what?
On the app.
I remember you saying that now.
Yeah.
Is there drifting?
There is, but it works weird. I don't know how to explain it because now I'm trying to think how the normal steering works.
So, okay.
You're more used to mobile Mario Kart.
Yeah.
Because I don't have a Switch, so I can't play Mario Kart. Yeah.
Usual drifting works is that you press a button to initiate the drift, and then you can hold it for a while, and then when you release, you get your boost forward.
Okay, so now let me think how this works on the app. I need to play it real quick to get it. So you have to go one way. You have to be turning, and then you have to go backwards.
Yeah,
so
you push right.
Yeah,
absolutely.
So you don't press a button, but then
there's no buttons.
Yeah, because there's no buttons.
But do you like swipe down? Like, how do you initiate a drift? Do you drift on every turn?
No. So okay, let me start a race real quick to feel how this works.
Sure.
Okay.
Well, I'm learning shit today, you guys.
Yeah, we are doing some live Mario Kart on the app. Okay.
Tell Caitlin she should stream it, internet.
Stream a mobile game. That would be tough. They do it. People do it.
Okay. So you get the boost from going on 2. You hold your finger down.
Okay. Going on 2. That's classic.
So yeah, you turn, and then you have to like swipe back. So I don't know.
Okay.
Interesting.
I can show on the screen. I see. Oh, you got hit.
Yeah.
Okay, I see what you're saying.
Yeah, it's kind of weird.
Sorry, listeners, you're missing out. We got a live demo.
Come watch this.
Okay, then you kind of swipe. That's cool. I'm a big Mario Kart guy. Though Mario Kart 8 Deluxe is consistently almost every month in the top 10 best-selling games of the month.
Wow.
Mario Kart 8 sells like mad. Nintendo actually doesn't usually disclose their digital sales, but it still does really, really well in physical. And I don't have it. I love Mario Kart 8. Favorite Mario Kart is Double Dash, easily. I'm a GameCube boy. Yeah, see, that's the thing of when we were raised. I think GameCube was for a lot of people one of the earlier consoles that we owned.
Yeah. Also, like, where's the new Mario Kart? We've had Mario Kart 8 like years.
They're not making it because Mario Kart 8 Deluxe is still selling.
It's still doing.
Yeah, why would they spend money to make a new one?
Yeah. Right. I want a new one.
Right.
You have the app.
Yeah, no, okay, and I have the app keeps giving new like races. It's so cool.
That's cool.
You can obviously tell they're reusing like tracks, but they're retheming them, and I love it. Like, it feels new every time.
That's really fun. Put a new coat of paint on it. Yeah.
Good shit.
Totally. Now, another Nintendo property. This is one of Caitlin and I. This is one Caitlin and I share. Big time game, Pokemon Go.
Go Power Rangers.
Power Rangers Go coming soon.
Yeah.
I played this, like everybody in the entire world, I played this game the summer of 2016. I was actually a beta tester.
Wow.
A real beta tester around here.
No.
Look at that.
I am a beta. You can take that sound clip right there.
You are a beta for sure.
I loved it, like everybody. I mean, even, this is so weird, Benjamin Netanyahu, Prime Minister of Israel, was playing Pokemon Go.
I remember that.
I did too, yeah. I mean, who wasn't? Like, I played this game for like 6 months and then I quit. But everyone played the game.
And it was honestly the closest we have been in a very long time to world peace. That is not a joke. That is not a joke. I am honest about that. So I hopped
still
off.
Funny.
Right, it's still funny. It is funny in a very sad way. But since
you've got Pokemon Go.
True. you know how we settle, how we make a two-state solution in Israel Palestine? We give them each a shiny rabbit ash. Um, I'm getting
I'm
canceled for
sick.
that.
Oh my!
So
I want. My mom caught a shiny Rapidash. Or no,
your mom
she caught,
plays?
yes, my mom plays. She caught a shiny Ponyta. I was so
Oh,
jealous.
yep. The shiny
So
ponytails are
jealous.
great shiny. So
Want it so
my I played in 2016, and then I believe on this my second date with my girlfriend. This would have been February 20. It's 2020 now.
Hmm.
It'll be 2 years. So that would have been 2018. I'm sorry, 2019. February 2019. We I'm terrible with dates here. She got me to re-download it because she and her best friend and roommate played. And I was like, all right, whatever. I thought they were lame for playing Pokemon Go. And then I got it and I have not turned back. Um,
Yikes.
they've added so much to the game. I mean, the original one, you catch your dudes and maybe you battle in gyms. But they've added like battling Team Rocket. They've added raids. They just added Mega Evolutions, hatching Pokemon eggs. They've added 4 more gens. We're into Gen 5. They have monthly community days in which one Pokemon spawns a lot and has a lot of high shiny rate. There's honestly so much in this game. Ooh, also regionals. There are Pokemon who are regional. They're locked to literal areas of the world, like Mr. Mime to Europe or Torkoal to Southeast Asia, which is a really cool way to sort of like incentivize player interaction.
Mhm.
Like,
Wow.
yeah,
When did this game get so complicated?
I know there's a lot, but what's great about it is that you don't really need to do all this stuff. Like, like there's a lot that you really, if you just want to scratch that basic human desire to collect, like that's all you have to do. But
Yeah.
like if you
Mm.
want to get into, I love raiding. I love like I've actually like
Mhm.
made, I wouldn't say made friends, but I've become like friendly acquaintances with people through Pokemon Go. I
Yeah.
was in a Discord for it in Orange County so that I could do the raids to get the special legendaries, and I
Nice.
like met a family of 5 who all
Mm,
play together, and like
that's cute.
I play with my girlfriend, and we've sort of gotten our friends into it, and it's sort of like a collective. We would
Yeah, you
drive out
got
to
me back into
Burbank.
it.
Yeah, we got you back. We actually, Caitlin and I left a film lecture in the middle to go catch a Pokemon to do a raid
We
together.
did. Matan was sitting next to me. He's like, "Hey, you want to go do this raid?" And I'm like, "Heck yeah!" And we get up and we turn on. Us like, "Where you guys going?" We're like, "Nowhere. We'll be right back."
Mm.
10 minutes later, we come back. I'm like, "Look at this Pokemon I caught!"
Yeah.
Hmm. That's all they do in class, by the way, you
Yep,
guys. Like they're on their phones playing Pokemon
gotta
Go.
be
Like
real.
there's nothing. There's
Yep.
nothing different.
Honestly, it's true. It's
That's
it's a
all
real
they do.
battery drain. That's the big negative.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. So I
Yep.
think a lot of these games, honestly,
Hmm.
except maybe Fallout Shelter. I don't think
Fallout
Fallout
Shelter's.
Shelter is too intensive.
I think the tough part is like rendering in 3D, and Pokemon Go
Hmm.
uses constant GPS.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Um, I was a total like Pokemon kid. I was a die-hard Pokemon fan. And then this is sort of a nice like accessible way to kind of like stay a part of the franchise. I've kind of
Hmm.
checked out of the main series.
Mhm.
Like a
Me
lot of
too.
them have not been
For
great.
the
Yeah.
new games, yeah.
Diamond and Pearl were my Diamond was my favorite, which
Yeah.
might be a
Same.
hot take. And then I
Well,
played Black and White. That was the last one that I played. Black, I think I had.
yeah, I played Black and White, and then do you remember what came after that?
Black and White 2.
Then I don't think I played that.
And then Sun and Moon. Oh no, then X and Y, then Sun and Moon.
Yeah,
Anyway,
X and Y.
Maybe I did play. I think I played X and Y.
I liked X and Y. I did like X and
Yeah, I
Y.
think I played X and Y.
Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire as well were in there somewhere.
Yeah, I
Um,
might have played the. I don't know. I
yeah.
remember I stopped somewhere on the
Right.
DS.
And that's kind
Millennials.
of it's kind of the that's kind of the issue. I think this conversation kind of proves the issue I have with some of the mainline games. They're not different enough.
Oh no.
These
Mhm.
games iterate. They very rarely step outside of their bounds and try something.
Yeah, and I mean, you have to give it to them because, like, at some
It works.
point, it for sure works. At some point, like, this was interesting, new, and amazing, and
Totally.
then now
Yeah.
they just want
Right.
money.
I
They've
mean,
done
I
yeah.
was a fan of Pokemon Sword. I liked what they did differently. I
Having
mean,
Pokemon roam, that's cool.
yeah, that was really fun. I enjoyed that. I mean, it
Yeah.
wasn't the best game ever. I think I enjoyed it because I hadn't played Pokemon in years, and it was like a yay! I'm finally back and getting to play
Right.
again.
Yeah.
Um, But yeah, I mean, I enjoyed that, but still, I thought it was very repetitive. I thought like the
Yeah,
Pokemon roaming area was really cool, but that was like the
Yeah.
only new thing.
totally.
Do you guys remember that one time we were playing Jackbox, but it was like the alien one, and I was an alien,
Yes.
and the question was like, "Oh, how certain are you that you could like name all the Pokemon?" But that wasn't the question I had.
Wasn't I an alien with you and I tried to help you? Yeah.
Yeah, you were. And so I answered like super totally, yeah. And but everyone was like, Adriana, no.
Yeah. Name five. Name five Pokemon.
I remember you tried to defend it, but not
Bulbasaur.
being obvious.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. But yeah,
I
this
can
game.
name 5. I
Yes,
cannot name
five. You're right.
150.
I think often I still could probably name 500, 600, and I
You're
often
terrible.
wonder like how much else could I have in my head if not that?
Well, and I think that's really interesting though, because like you are saying that in a way that like implies that there are better things to like know, to like
Sure.
have stored in your memory, but at a certain point that's actually not true, because games do have really big benefits, especially when you're growing up and like having, I mean, now we consider it like this is very niche knowledge,
You're right.
but like even the Pokemon impart some real world implications.
Right.
I could keep talking about
What I would
No, I mean, that's great. That's again going back to like our main idea here of like having this
positive
accessibility and
influences.
education.
What I was going to say, this is actually built into the Pokemon formula. This is what the guy who designed Pokemon from the get-go wanted to do, is like it does incentivize human interaction. It's often so what this guy did, I don't remember his name, my apologies, but he was I guess collecting bugs is a common thing in Japan for kids and particularly boys growing up.
Oh shit, that makes so much sense.
Right.
Yeah.
And so he extrapolated that, turned it into this thing, and that was often how he could connect with people. He's kind of an awkward kid, and so that was how he would if the other people collected bugs, that was their jumping on point. And so by releasing 2 games that each have a couple of exclusives Pokemon, if you want to complete your Pokédex, you have to make friends with somebody who has another game and trade with them.
That's interesting.
Yeah, and even though there's only one version of Pokemon Go, again, there are those regional Pokemon, and on top of that, like trading and you have to raid together. There are Pokemon raids, which you have to go somewhere at a certain time, and you meet and you have to get a group together. For like the biggest legendaries, you need at least 6 or 7 like high-leveled people, and so like this game is built around social interaction.
Yeah,
which is interesting for gaming.
Yeah.
Now we've got another very popular game.
All the popular games. Oops.
This is one of the most successful mobile games maybe ever, Hearthstone.
Yeah. Wow, throwback. You guys, I feel like that's also a millennial thing. I think we're
Hearthstone.
Yeah. I mean, do you know a lot of like younger people that are playing Hearthstone?
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
okay. You know what? I think we should continue to talk about this through our podcasts if we are Gen Z or millennial. I think there are people who play Hearthstone who are millennial, who are Gen Z. I think
yeah, probably.
Because it has had a really healthy ecosystem by and large. It has had some issues, but it has survived a really long time. Before we get into it, I did want to mention this game was tied to a controversy a year-ish ago regarding this Hearthstone champion named Blitzchung, who, after winning a championship in his victory speech, said "Hong Kong, revolution of our nation, revolution of our time." I believe that's what he said, and was subsequently banned from the game and had his winnings revoked. Blizzard has since walked that back a little bit. I think we talked about this on another episode, but I just wanted to say, like, supporting Blizzard is often supporting catering to kind of the intense authoritarian government over there in China. What's great about this game, however, is you don't need to spend money to play.
Hearthstone is indeed free.
It's kind of like what we talked about with the Harry Potter game. It's hard when the creator ends up not being as good as the project they create, and you have to separate it. And it's like, do you continue supporting it when the person who created it or group that created it is not?
Company.
Yeah.
I am I am sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, I was just gonna say I mean, at least with apps, you don't have to pay for it all the time. And usually it's free, but it's still that line that you walk.
It's complicated.
It is.
I am personally of the camp that art and artist cannot be separated. I think so, that's a longer discussion. I do not play Hearthstone, but that's sort of my comfort. I'm not gonna shame on you for playing it. Like you're not giving any more money.
It's a big gray area. It's like where you draw the line. And I mean, this could be a whole podcast topic in itself.
Yeah, true.
It's really hard, especially if you were already a fan and already playing when this happened. Right. Again, back to Harry Potter, that's same thing. We're all of us are fans of Harry Potter, but what do you do when the creator turns out to be like the way they are?
I think giving money is a line. I don't think that's the line. Like, I'm not saying like if you give, like, it's wrong to give money, or if you don't give money and still play this game, it's still in support. I'm not exactly sure, but I think money is a line. There is, I'm not exactly sure what it means, but I think there is a difference between like, watching something and then paying something. Again, very murky.
Yeah. It's super murky. I mean, and even the thing with money, right? Like if you're paying $10 to buy whatever pack on Hearthstone, I mean, Blizzard also employs, I mean, they're located in Irvine, California, right? Like it's not exactly it pays real people, voice actors that we love from other things that are really progressive and amazing. So, it's super gray.
You're right. But outside of this grayness, Hearthstone is a fantastic game.
Yes. It really is.
It is one of, if not the best, deck building video game.
I'm so bad at deck building, but but I will say Hearthstone does make it pretty easy. I mean, not it lets you get really into it if you want to, I think.
Yes.
And one of the great things about the moment that we're in, you can just look up popular decks and see what you need to do. And especially with the community so big, I mean, that's super easy to do. You can just chat with people who play the game, and I don't think, it's not as strong as Pokemon Go, but like there is a really great community that like other awesome people that you can talk to.
There are a lot of streamers, lots of community, a lot of discords, a lot of groups.
Shout out to @sway_bay on Twitch. Sway Bay, she's a great Hearthstone streamer.
Go check her out.
I really enjoyed this game. It's very satisfying. I think one thing that a lot of deck builders and card-based games struggle with is to make it visually engaging and immersive. And this game is so engaging. Like the effects of when you hit people, when you just kill somebody, when your creature is destroyed, when they duplicate. In fact, this game is set in a tavern. It's in the Warcraft universe, and basically the idea is that you are playing this card game at a table in a tavern.
It's a lot like Gwent. If you guys haven't played it.
Very much like Gwent. And so on the sides, there are these little things on the board that you can interact with. If you're bored, if you're waiting for somebody else to take their turn, you can like press these little buttons and swing these little things.
There's a bunch of voice lines that you can like pick and like communicate with the person that you're playing against through the voice lines. It's really cool.
It's well designed in every aspect. I mean, the game itself, the game design, the game mechanics are very well designed. They have had problems with balancing in the past. I think there's some big issue. They added a new class recently, and I think there's some big balancing thing. There are balancing issues, but I think in the past it has been balanced for long periods of time.
They'll fix it eventually.
Right. Right. It's playable. It's like enjoyable without spending money, but you can. There's no energy, so it doesn't really like get in the way, really. I don't believe.
Yeah, I mean, but like, cooler cards and stuff like that. Like it's definitely easier to buy packs. But that's a really different discussion. But I mean, as a mobile game, I mean, this is also obviously like on your PC and other platforms, but as a mobile game, it also works really well.
Totally. It's built for mobile. And you can play it on PC and other systems, but it's a fantastically designed mobile game.
Yeah. And it's so big. I mean, that's the one thing that really impresses me about things like Hearthstone and Pokemon Go. They are so expansive, but they're on your phone.
It squeezes it all in. It does a great job. Caitlin, what's your experience? Have you played this game?
A little bit, not for a long time. Yeah, I don't know a ton about it. I remember
That's
the
okay.
deck building was confusing.
It is.
Yeah.
Yes, yeah.
And
I
like I
mean,
looked up stuff about it recently, and like it gets really complex. Like there was like a
oh,
whole, like chart about like
mm.
different ways you could go and like different
Mm-hmm.
things you could do, and I was like, oh my gosh.
Demonstrated.
Yeah, it's definitely a
Wow.
lot. But
Yes.
when you're playing at entry level, I think it does a good job of kind of like easing you into
Yeah,
it.
I
I think
agree.
so. Like when
Um,
I remember playing it, it was helpful with it. Like it
Sure.
wasn't super confusing at the time.
yeah.
Right.
And I mean, one of the cool things that I do like about Hearthstone is that if you're familiar with like World of Warcraft and that kind of fantasy genre, it's really nice seeing like these monsters that come out because like their abilities will be very much tied to like preconceived notions about like the monster itself.
Right.
That's a whole different tangent. I have a lot of thoughts
Uh-huh.
on monsterization and how we portray certain groups of people, especially women. But with that said, it plays very well into its fantasy genre. It's like a fun little like, oh, I recognize that, the thing. And it's fun. It's
Yep.
a good game.
Great. Well, I think that just about does it for this episode. You can find our socials in the description below. Check us out. We've actually just started Twitch streaming. I myself have not yet, but Adriana and Caitlin have both done streaming on their personal channels, which we can also link. And it's hosted often by our official Rewind and Replay Twitch channel. Is that right?
Yeah.
Um,
We host a lot of cool people. Rico, Faye, Sway, lots of cool streamers.
yeah,
Follow
check it out.
us, follow Rewind and Play, follow us individually if you're into cool games.
Yeah. And I think we're going to be ramping that up pretty soon. We're trying to get, it's a hard jump from medium to another, and I think we're trying to navigate that. And I think, we would appreciate your support. You can find us on Patreon or any of our socials, as I mentioned. We release episodes every Friday wherever you get podcasts or on YouTube with a video element. And thank you for watching and listening.
Thank you.
We'll catch you next time.
Bye.
Psych, this is Matan from the future, chiming in because we failed you. You may or may not have noticed, but I said that we would be including how much money we think we've spent on microtransactions for mobile games at the end of the episode, and we did not. So I'm here to update you and make sure that you know how awful we all are at engaging in a capitalist system. So let's start off with Caitlin. Caitlin approximates that she has spent $5 on mobile games, which I think is a perfectly reasonable amount. I myself have spent $2. That was both on Pokemon Go. One time because I thought there might be a glitch, and hard to explain. I spent $1 because I wasn't sure if something was going to work or not, and I wanted to make sure it would. Excuses aside, I spent $2 in Pokemon Go. Sue me. Then we've got Adriana with a whopping $90, give or take. This is an approximate guess. Adriana, you are part of the problem. That is, again, I'll spend $60 on a new game, no problem. But $90 on mobile games sounds ridiculous. I don't know why. Either way, I hope it was worth it. Thank you, everybody, for listening, and we will catch you next week.